Hi guys, this is Deepak, and I have with me Akis Evangelidis. He is the co-founder for Nothing and CMF. We are talking to him today about CMF, the new brand, the new sub-brand that Nothing has come up with. Basically, the idea is to find out what the brand is about and what are the new devices that the brand is launching. Akis, my first question to you is really about the what and the how of CMF, and what does CMF really stand for?
Yeah, so I guess, when we started Nothing, it was, I guess, because we weren't too excited about what the market had to offer overall. And I think, with Nothing, we set ourselves to, one, bring an element of artistry when it came to design, because all the design, looked more and more the same. There was nothing really exciting. And then as a second stage, we wanted to kind of redefine a bit how we interact with technology. We feel for years technology was empowering us. Now it has become also a source of distraction, and there is some more kind of negative aspect to it, which we want to kind of be addressing gradually. And the third one, of course, around sustainability. So those are the sort of main drivers around the Nothing brand. But then, when we look at other price segments, we realize, that there are a lot of compromise being made in terms of especially design, overall kind of quality and so on. And for us, we saw an opportunity towards lower price segments, in the way why people should just, settle for like product which, haven't been addressed with a lot of care. And I'm sure, they're still great looking product. Not everyone wants to be spending high price tag on their tech, but why those people should be kind of left apart. So for us, we're convinced that in this kind of lower price segment, we're able to kind of deliver designs which kind of live up to that standard with a more kind of timeless approach. So of course, we're kind of walking away from the very kind of transparent technical level of the Nothing brand, which requires a lot of R&D and technical processes. So with CMF, and that's where the name comes from, like CMF in terms of color, material, and finish. That's where we're going to be really emphasizing to ensure we kind of have a great experience across product design, and yet being able to deliver products at a more affordable, accessible price point. Yet a lot of technologies and work that has been done through our flagship line to kind of waterfall onto this product.
Great. So, what does CMF stand for?
So it stands for color, material, and finish. It's actually quite a term commonly used in the industrial design world.
So color and
so it's basically,
sorry, go ahead.
So it's like the color. So it's like which is the color being used, what is the material being used, and what is the finish. So for instance, the Buds Pro, we have this kind of little kind of texture apply on it. So this would be the finish. Then the sort of the material that's being used, and of course the color. So we have orange, which is a color that kind of stands out, and then more kind of conservative colors for the Buds, which are in black and white. And then, for instance, for the watch, here those are the sort of elements we've been playing with and ensuring, even though this will be watch will be launched in a more accessible price segment, we're still using an aluminum frame here, which makes gives this kind of premium aspect to the product. We don't compromise on that end, and also makes the product very light.
But speaking about color, so is orange going to be like a visual identity you want to pursue or you want to create for CMF? Just the way transparent design and the glyph interface has sort of become the visual identity for Nothing. So is orange going to be something similar for CMF?
It's one of them. Basically, the visual identity is around black, white, gray, and orange. The sort of orange brings a bit more, I guess, a more kind of dynamic aspect to the brand, but it's not going to be necessarily super prominent, just part of the overall kind of visual identity. Now it's not going to be necessarily, all over the place. We're going to be using orange. It's just one of the options we'll have out there.
So, but apart from design, what are the other key USPs for specifically for CMF? Value, you think?
So I think it's really staying close. So one is like, leveraging all the experience and all the learnings we've been kind of getting through, developing all those kind of nothing products, yet being very close to, what the user wants, why they're using those products. So for instance, a very strong active noise cancellation develop through our kind of flagship brand, and basically keep on improving it. For instance, we have this kind of windproof technology that's both focused on hardware and software, where we have two holes here for the kind of wind to flow through, but also optimized through the algorithms in terms of when the wind hits the earbuds, how we handle that. So it's basically, really focusing on why people are, what are they looking when they purchase this type of products, and really focusing on that and nothing else. I think that sometimes brands like to kind of focus on things that don't necessarily add value to the what we would define as key user needs. So for us, it's just ensuring we land those in a good way, and similar to the Watch Pro, by implementing a GPS capability to it, we're able to have much more accurate tracking, especially for all of those that use a watch for sports like running, cycling, and so on. So overall, it's very kind of big focus on design, ensuring a great experience, focusing around the color, material, and finish of the product, yet working on a kind of timeless design, and then all the focus to maximize the value on the key user needs, and nothing else around that.
Okay, I did want to ask, are there any features in the new devices which are sort of limited to just nothing phones? I mean, anything at all which limits, the user experience, and that maybe, or any feature that is just available to, when the new device is paired with a nothing phone, or does it work similarly across all devices? Basically, comes from the fact that there are other brands, of course, that try and restrict users to their own ecosystems in some way.
No, I have definitely seen that. No. Here the intent is, again, I think since the beginning, we, and especially this being a kind of more of a sub brand standalone, the idea is like, to not limit the performance of the product, especially towards it will work seamlessly, especially through the Nothing X app and so on. But those are all companion apps that can be downloaded on any devices to ensure that the user experience is being maximized. And I think it's something for us that we always keep in mind. It's about the user. It's not about how eventually we have a more strategic approach to how we do things with other agendas in mind. At the end of the day, someone is buying the product. We want to ensure that they have the best possible experience.
Well, the buds and the watch are sort of logical, products to or product segments to enter, after the phones. But the charger, I think, stands out. I think it's like a slightly different category and a slightly different league compared to the other products. So just wanted to get an idea on the how and the why behind the charger. It's an interesting segment for sure, and a very useful device, I might add.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I think from a nothing standpoint, it'll be hard to have, to be launching such a product with the sort of, product philosophy we have around that. But I think it's a perfect product for a brand like CMF, which is also, focusing on good designs, but yet a lot more onto function. And actually, I've been a firm user of this, because before the gun charger had my kind of Apple MacBook charger, I had my Nothing charger, and so on. So now, as you can see, I'm making full usage of it already. And actually, it is a game changer. It's those type of products, like you don't necessarily think about it. But then when we start using, we're like, wow, why I haven't been using this already for years versus kind of carrying out all those chargers. So yeah, it's a lot more kind of functional product, but a great product that we're quite excited to to be offering to our current and future users.
Nice. So what next? What can we expect next from CMF?
Yeah, hopefully a lot more. I think it's a quite exciting brand that kind of open up even more opportunities in terms of product categories we can enter without having the sort of level of complexity and attention to this kind of transparent design and also fully utilizing all the technologies and product development that's come through the Nothing brand. So yeah, we have a lot of ideas, a lot of things in the pipeline, and I guess you can definitely expect a lot more products, especially for next year.
Great. Really, my last question, and maybe a bit of a personal one. I mean, I personally wanted to ask, and I haven't asked this to Carl yet, but whoever I meet, friends at Nothing, Megha included, I've asked this question on how do you really feel when people come up with these puns and jokes around the brand name Nothing, right? It is that name itself is such that it is. I mean, and still goes on. I mean, I remember the early days where we used to do it, but still it continues to this day. So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I remember having on our first kind of raise, it was like, yeah, Nothing raise X millions. A lot of friends were sending me this kind of screenshot of the headline, and I thought it was quite fun. No, but I think, from a purely marketing standpoint, people talk about it. So I guess that's what you want at the end of the day. I guess it does get repetitive, but it's okay. We don't mind. I think for us going into this, it took a bit of time when we went with Nothing the name, but overall, if we had to make the decision again, I think it would still be a no-brainer to go with Nothing. I think it's quite a strong name actually, and a lot of people bring it up. It stays in people's mind. So the puns are. Yeah, I would invite people for more creativity. If they become repetitive, I'm sure there could be better ones, new ones. But no, we're cool with it.
Good to know, Akis. Thanks so much for this, Akis. Thanks for spending the time. Thanks for giving me details on the products. They definitely look very interesting and very useful. And all the very best to you. Hopefully, we'll catch up face to face very soon.
Let's definitely do that. And yeah, thanks for the chat. Thanks for the continuous feedback. And yeah, love the survey. Seeing that we already, despite being around for just 3 years, that we've been the favorite Android software experience. So yeah, super grateful and looking forward. We have a lot more to do.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much.